Yeah, sure. No, I can't. No, no, it seems to be okay for me. They're just clapping now. Now they've. That's what I just got.
Right, it's day two of the Kwibuka T20 Tournament, live from the Gahanga International Kigali, Rwanda. Botswana taking on Kenya in match three of the tournament. Kenya won the toss. Kenya won the toss and opted to bowl first, as has been the tradition for three games so far. All the captains who won the toss have chosen to bowl. Yesterday, we saw Botswana in the opener going down. Rwanda versus Botswana was the opening match yesterday, where both bowled out for 29, their lowest score in T20Is. And here they are playing the third match. Kenya, we are having the first look at Kenya. They won the toss and chosen to bowl first. Botswana will walk out to bat. I have with me Gaurav Joshi on commentary. Welcome, Gaurav. Nice to have you.
Yes, nice to be on comms and looking forward to this tournament. I've been very impressed. I watched the snippets of the highlights on the Women's Cricket Zone. Fantastic initiative to broadcast this tournament and looking forward to today's game. And hopefully Botswana put up a better fight. I'm sure the practice that they got, well, the practice or the game they played yesterday will certainly help them uh, prepare better and play better in this game against Kenya.
You have to count the first match as practice matches. We place the other one before the top teams play the semi-finals. So there's not much time to warm up and get ready because it's a blink and a miss kind of a tournament. Botswana into their second match today. Once again, similar conditions because they played the day match yesterday, then early morning start in Rwanda, the Kigali at the Gahanga International Cricket Stadium where we are live from. And in the early morning means that there's a little bit more of a nip in the air, that the ball was swinging around, and Botswana batters found it very, very tough. Found the going very tough, and the scorecard reflects really that 29 or lowest score in T20Is. They didn't have a bigger lowest score because 50 was the previous one. It kind of went down, but all's forgotten. It's a new day, it's a new game. It's the first match for Kenya, but remember these two sides had played last in 2019, a 7-match bilateral series which Kenya won 4-1. So that will be a confidence booster for the Kenyan side who are playing their first match of the Kwibuka T20 Tournament this season.
I tell you what I've enjoyed already, Sudarshan, is the way that the wicketkeeper has actually paced her steps all the way back to exactly where she wants to stand. Normally we see the bowler do it, but she wants to be exactly precise where she's standing. So I thought that's what was quite fascinating. And now she's there standing and marshalling the troops, adjusting the field. So, and I'll tell you what else I like. I like the green shirts on the umpires.
Yeah, the color combinations have been really good. Lavenda Idambo will take the first over, the new ball from one end. The pacer, and her favorite player, she says, is Smriti Mandhana. Very, very rare that you see a bowler picking a batter as her favorite player. She's an all-rounder, but she bowls fast, right arm fast, and she's all set, warming up to bowl to Florence Samanika, who will take first strike for Botswana. Didn't have the best of matches, as I said. Botswana crashing to an all-time low of 29 all-out. First ball of match 3.
Starts off with a wide, and they're going to go through for a bite, nearly a run out. Is there a run out? I think there is. What a start.
Absolutely, Gaurav. You mentioned, you began your stint talking about the wicketkeeper, and Sharon Juma has hit the target on the very first ball, trying to sneak a single was Samanika. And I think Musuo might be just short of a crease. Direct hit. Sharon Juma is on the board. It's 1 for 1 because it was a wide. They were trying to sneak a single in terms of a bye, and that's the wicket lost. 1 for 1 of the very first ball of the game.
Incredible. Well, we haven't actually really had a ball, so that's because they have to re-bowl it. So this is a phenomenal start. I've never seen this happen in any game of cricket where there's been a run out of the first ball when it's actually been a wide. So they've tried to scramble basically a bye, and there's been a wicket. So what a start. I mean, especially for Kenya, not the ideal start for Botswana, but this is what I mean about some of these tournaments, about the girls getting used to playing into the rhythm, playing some practice, getting into the match simulations, and you can just tell that some of these girls just probably haven't had enough cricket with that dismissal.
Another wide, and Laura Mokedi, the skipper of Botswana, who walks in at number 3. You almost are doing the job of an opener at number 3, isn't it? Because like situations like today, you almost walk in before the first legal ball has been bowled.
She left her first one. There's no way she was stepping out of her crease there. She just seen what would happen. But There is a bit of movement. You mentioned just before the start, it is a bit nippy, and there is a bit of outswing.
I think Kenya might have closely observed yesterday's first match where Botswana played Rwanda. Look at that field setting. There's a very, very short cover in position, which means that if you're defending, you still have to be very cautious of the fielder, of the edges and whatnot.
Yeah, and generally when conditions are like this, a little bit of possibly dew on the ground. Which I was just looking at some of the temperatures, and it does go down to about, say, 13, 14 degrees. So with the early start, you expect a bit of dew on there. And if that's the case, you see the ball might just not come on to the bat early on.
Laura
Even that.
Mofakedi doesn't want to go anywhere so soon.
No, no chance of a run early on, and you can just see how they're defending as well, just holding, and you can just see the ball just coming up. Looks like the girls are enjoying themselves. The Kenyan girls, they're having a bit of a chuckle and a laugh, probably wanting getting the fielder closer and closer.
Another one of those defensive shots. Tell me, Gaurav, what you think about defending, especially when there's a short cover in position. Your fielder is always in play, and that sure must be on Mofakadi's mind.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, there's an appeal. It almost looked like she was walking up for a minute. I thought these girls are so generous that they get hit on the pad, they wanted to walk away, but no, she's just been hit on, and the ball was clearly going down leg side. But yeah, I think just having someone in your eye line, just standing there, makes you aware and maybe makes you play slightly squarer, as we've seen. Just, I'm not sure which team it is, but the girls are just walking right behind the bowler. Would you know which team that was?
Not sure which team is arrived early for the second match. Might be Rwanda.
Well, that's the first over that is done. So we've had a wicket off the very first ball, but we've seen everything in that first over. Oh.
Two for one after the first over. Both runs coming in terms of a wide ball. It's going to be Margaret Ngoche, the skipper of Kenya, who's going to take the new ball from the other end. Another seam bowler. They do keep Botswana quiet, and you can continue to see the shot covered in position. She got
Yeah,
a tickle
lovely
there.
little
She
leg
has.
glance. Just waiting to see if those runs are off the bat. Sudarshan looks like they might be.
Yep, seems to be first runs of the bat, and Florence Samanika gets going with a tickle down to fine leg. So she'll be glad to not have another duck against her name.
It's a lovely batting stance, isn't it? So simple, keeps everything close to her body, perfectly upright. And hopefully, if she gets a few runs, she'll get sponsors on that bat.
Another solidly blocked
This is
delivery
good,
by
accurate bowling,
Samanika.
and that's what's
I'm sure it must be playing on her mind that yeah.
a loud appeal. That would look like it's just going down the leg side, but there's certainly definitely some movement on offer earlier on. No doubt that Botswana want to improve on their outing from yesterday.
And that's the end of another economical over. 2 overs gone, 5 for 1 Botswana. They sure aren't in a hurry and they're happy to take their time. 5 for 1 after 2. Another one
Good
bowling by
firm.
Samanika. Yeah, and I'm sure the dismissal of Shamila Moswu must be playing on her mind. So it was all Boswu's call there. It was a wide ball. She tried to sneak in a bye. The shot that's pulled in the air towards mid wicket. It fell well short of the field. A single score, 6 for 1. A bit short. Tried to take advantage of the field that's up for first 6 overs.
Yeah, it's the first real aggression we've
Kenyan bowlers
seen
have been quite
from the
disciplined, haven't they,
Botswanan.
Gaurav?
Yeah, absolutely. But it's good whenever there's a bit of they just erred in length, they're just fractionally short, decide to go back. So that to me just shows that the girls are quite well educated. They know exactly which balls that they should be going after. Um, and just the way that she tried to pull that one, I think it's good signs because they're looking to score whenever a ball is sort of erred on the short side or on the fuller side.
A cleverly glided past where shot third would have been placed. Another single. We saw it yesterday that is one of the most frequented areas by the batters, be it the edge or the glide. And I'm a bit surprised that Kenya haven't strengthened that cordon. They have a short cover, yes, but not sure if they have a short third as well.
Yeah, and the ball keeps going there because they're bowling those immaculate line and length. And just when you push forward like that, the chances are the ball is going to go gliding towards that sort of gully or wide slips. And I think they've got it well covered. Just the lack of the pace of the bowler. You don't think the ball's actually going to carry anywhere to sort of first slip, or the only place it's probably going to carry if it's a fine nick is the keeper.
That's the end of another economical over by Lavender Idambo. 2 overs for 5. 3 overs on 8 for 1. That's driven nicely, but the half stop in the follow through will get a single. That's a quick single taken. A bit of urgency shown by Samanyika there. The score moves to 9 for 1.
Yeah, lovely looking straight drive, wasn't it? Really pleasant on the eye. Everything technically really good about that, and also a good piece of running as well. The bowler got a hand to it, but it deflected away from the pitch. So really good cricketing smarts by the two players out there.
Can you understand what Mofakadi might be doing? She's on 1 of 11, and she's just happy to defend balls and not even try to rotate strike. What could be the strategy?
Yeah, just pushing that one. And she's timed it pretty well. That's a fantastic shot. Lovely timing. That's a race to the boundary. Just watching that one, it just looked like a little push that we've seen throughout the morning where it's going to glide down to third man for a single. But that was just exquisite. That was such a beautiful shot. I think it's already been the shot of the day, or maybe shot of the tournament. You've seen more of it than I have, Sudarshan. That was as good as it gets.
It certainly does, but I don't know why Mofakadi didn't seem confident. She almost ran 3, didn't she? And she seemed to be clutching her hamstring at the end of it. The first boundary for match 3. This one's on the pad, worked away to fine leg for another single. So no sooner did I say that she's struggling and on 1 for 11, she scored a boundary and then rotated strike as well. She moves to 6 of 9, 14 for 1.
Yeah, and already Botswana doing a lot better than yesterday. You've seen everything unique so far.
Footy skills. Yeah, footy skills by Waithaka there at mid-wicket, stopping with the left foot. Another single.
As long as you stop it and doesn't go through. She wanted an appeal for that one. It just hit the face of the bat, but just good fun and games. And that's the end of the over.
Four overs, 15 for 1. 1 wicket down in form of a run out. There's Laura Mofakadi, there's Florence Samanika. Idambo into a third over. From whatever you've watched so far, Gaurav, who could be one of the contenders for the players spot player of the match, because fantasy gaming is something that's been up so far. And for those of you watching, you can download the app on the link in the description. But your thoughts on the players spot player of the match, Gaurav?
Yeah, it's we've got a long way to go at the moment, but I must admit just you can already tell the way that these two are going about their business, that they've learnt so much from yesterday's game in just the way that they're building an innings. You mentioned how it was for them getting bowled out in 10-point 3 overs, I think it was. So I think if both of these really manage to just start expanding their shots, they will be the ones to watch out for. And it's fantastic to have the fantasy teams even in a tournament like this.
It certainly does. And for those who might have played yesterday, the off spinner in Hamanula, Victoria Hamanula, might have given them lots of points because 4 wickets for a mere 8 runs is what she returned with. Into the 5th over. Oh, beauty. Oh, beauty. How did that miss the edge? Just on a length outside off. A bit unlucky is Idambo there.
Yeah, lovely piece of bowling. And just the umpire even just signalling how many more to go. He almost put up the one finger, and I thought there might have been a sneaky little edge there, but that wasn't the case. But a terrific piece of bowling to really utilise this new ball in these conditions, the Kenyan bowlers. The captain seems really happy.
Another dot ball. Yeah, she does. And why wouldn't she? She's won the toss, chosen to bowl first. And at 15 for have the Botswanian women quiet. So Botswana would surely be thinking quietly in their minds that they've crossed the halfway mark of the 29 all out. That's another solid defense from Samanika towards covers. 5 overs gone. It's 15 for 1. Change in voice upstairs.
Just getting a bit of a hold up while. And joining me in the comms is Ananya. Hello. Looking forward to this contest. This one's hit up in the air and there's a carry. No, just short. So it was lofted. So definitely might have Ananya back with us.
Hi, Gaurav. Can you guys hear me now?
Sure can. There's another quick single.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, Botswana showed great this morning, a lot better than the first game, and I think Florence Samanika looks very, very solid at the crease. She's really leading the way there.
There's one short and it's been hammered.
Yes. So these two batters,
And then
they're in a bit of control.
Yep.
Gaurav, what's impressed you about them, do you think?
I think just the way they've started to build their innings now. We just saw for the first 3 overs, it was almost a repetition. A ball on a good length, both of the batters getting forward and hitting it through sort of point and down to third man. But now, as soon as you've seen them actually get their eye, you've seen them expand their shots. Anything that's been marginally short, both are able to just back away and hit it through the leg side. And we saw that beautiful shot. I think it was in the third over, and it was just placed through point. So I think they just started to look really good. I think it's such a better outcome than from yesterday, where they've just known how to build an innings. But I must ask you, and I know you follow the women's game so closely, you report on it, you write some fantastic articles. How good is it to have this tournament covered and broadcast, and what do you think it means for these girls?
Well, I'll probably have you after this over, Gaurav. Queen Torable finishes her first, and Botswana are 19 for 1 after the power play. Botswana 20 for 1 after the power play, beg your pardon. To answer your question, Gaurav, I think what's impressed me, or I'm most happy about this tournament, is just the fact that we're able to watch these teams play. I think cricket is a global game and all that, and we've had so many discussions around it, but I think just the opportunity for these women to play international cricket, I think is really exciting. There is a lot of talent in these countries. We just have been able to see it, and just the opportunity, I think, for these women to play. We spoke a lot to Martin Suji late last year. He's the technical director of Rwanda Cricket, and he explained to us that cricket for a lot of women is an escape from their daily lives. It's an escape, from the pressures of society and nice strong cut shot. So he said that sport or cricket for these women is an escape for them, and it's a place where they can express themselves and be exactly what they want to be. And so I think just the fact that they're able to play a game, to play it at an international level is very, very exciting. It's a huge opportunity for them. And hopefully there's more investment in these teams, because there is a lot of talent there.
Yeah, but what I think, just watching these girls go about their business is also the facilities. I mean, it looks like a really good pitch out there. They've got the facilities. I'm sure there is probably, as the game develops, you'd see more of these, pitches, the equipment, and once you get that, the grounds sort of got a better appearance for them. You'll see the cricket really develop in terms of skills a lot quicker. And I think that is so important, and we see a couple of the fielders already using their foot to stop the ball. And once they get exposed to more and more cricket, whether that's at different leagues, then you'll find them, I think, really improving, applying. It could be in fielding, attempting to slide. Their catching will get better, and you can just see how much Botswana has improved from yesterday to today.
Precisely. 7 overs done, 21 for 1, and Lavendo has finished her first spell, 4 overs, just 6 runs and a maiden. So strong shot there from, I think it was Florence Samanika, down the ground against Queen Torable. Fantastic signs of aggression from Botswana. Like you said, they're definitely learning from yesterday. A lot of improvement.
Strong shot there.
Yeah, it was definitely Florence Samanika. She's really getting into the groove. There was an over-pitch delivery, and she saw the mid-off fielder was inside the circle, and that's the best place to hit. Hit it nice and straight, and the ball was pitched up, and she's managed to do it comfortably. Yes, another lovely tossed-up delivery, but that's well handled. So that, again, and then it shows to me that she's really disciplined. She's just not trying to hammer every ball. She's playing it on merit.
More signs of aggression from Florence Samanika. Looks like this shot over mid-wicket's only going to get her 2 runs, but yes, Botswana seem to be using their repertoire of looking for more scoring opportunities, and it's great to see this aggression. They're already closing in on that dreaded 29.
Good use of the feet there. I think we're seeing all types of skills here for Samanika. You can just say once she's been established, and you just get to see here. You know, when you watch the first couple of overs, you almost want them to be innovative. You have to remember these girls are sort of relatively new to what we see around the world, whether that's with Smriti Mandana or Elisa Healy. And look at that. That's just brilliant fielding.
Yes, it is. And I'm not
absolutely,
surprised
like you mentioned. So keen to run an overthrow there. So you can see they're on their toes. I think that's the end of the over.
Apologies, we seem to be having some technical difficulties, but just as they reach 29, it seems Botswana have lost 2 wickets now, 29 for 3.
You guys see the screen? Because I can't.
Sarah Weteto has taken 2 wickets in 2 balls. She's on a hat-trick now. Botswana need to get past that 29. Hopefully it's not like one for them. Bontle Madimabi comes out to face the hat-trick ball. Sarah Weteto, a short cover. Surprised she doesn't have a slip. Apologies. Jacqueline Kang, in only her 2nd game, has come out to face the ball against Sarah Weteto. She's only bowled 2 balls, taken 2 wickets. Let's see what she has in store now.
I can't see anything. So.
What a beautiful one we make.
A slow, very full delivery, well dealt with by Kang.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, I can't do anything. It's frozen for me.
On the back foot. Another slow, very loopy delivery.
iPhone.
Strong shot there from Kang. Oh. Wait, did she just... That was a fantastic catch. Backward point, running backwards, stuck out one hand, took it quite brilliantly. Think that wicket belongs to the fielder there. Three wickets in the over for Sarah Witeto. Still no runs off her. And still 29 for 4 now. 29 for 4 in the 9th over.
Okay, it's back again.
Seems like we've overcome those technical difficulties. Gaurav comes back into the comms box, and we've lost 4 wickets in the meantime, or 3 wickets in the meantime. So, Gaurav, you've missed a lot of the action.
I have, and I thought you were going to say Goro comes into the attack. I'm certainly not bowling out there. Whoa, this is great flight bowling. 4 wickets have completely gone down, gently changed the course of this match.
So a triple maiden for Sarah Witeto, and Botswana are 29 for 4 in 9 overs.
Yeah, this is just not what they wanted, and I think it's just trying to be aggressive. I'll tell you what I'm enjoying from these Kenyan bowlers is the flight on the ball, and it's just making it difficult. The lack of pace, which means you have to try use your feet or go back and nudge the ball onto the offside or leg side. See another flighted ball, and you see there just no pace to work with, so it's hard to get the ball into gaps and actually get it past the fielders. This way they probably lack a bit of innovation, maybe the sweep shot or the reverse sweep or the ramp, or they can just do that, and oh, she's missed out on the stumping there, and then there looks like.
Yeah, she has another chance there for Kenya. Queen Torable flighting one. Keeper not quite ready for that stumping opportunity. But at least Botswana are off that dreaded 29. They're now 30 runs. They've surpassed yesterday's total. So they'll be happy about that.
Absolutely. You can just tell that there is signs of improvement, and more games they play, they are definitely going to improve. But the key batter out there now is Florence Yika. She's 18 off 30 balls, and she probably has to bat throughout the 20 overs to ensure that they get some sort of total, maybe something around 60, 70, 80.
Yeah, she definitely holds the key for Botswana now. She is one of the senior most players. The most player. She is the second highest run getter as well, the only Botswana batter to hit a 6 as well. So there is a lot of ability there. So Botswana will definitely be hoping that she can carry on, bat through the overs. As Queen Torable gets through another miserly over. Botswana 30 for 4 in 10 overs. And once again, Sarah Witeta with her fourth wicket. 4 wickets for the off spinner. And Gaurav Joshi slides out. And as he leaves, he takes another Botswana wicket with him. Welcome back, Sudarshanan. You're coming back to an action-packed game right now.
Yeah, I sure am, because Sarah Witeto is on a roll, a maiden, triple wicket maiden, and now a wicket of her first ball of a second over as well. And that is a big wicket in Dominica. Someone who could have taken Ghana to a score that they could have been confident about, but they had to pass through that 29 run. That's where the speed breaker seems to have hit them.
Yeah, it did. It seems like the 29 is Botswana's Nelson, something they'll need to overcome if they want to challenge any of the other teams through this tournament. But hopefully they can bat through the overs. They've shown some improvement. Some signs of aggression
Short
there
cover
from the batters.
almost paid off there.
Yeah, Kenya have persisted with that short cover and it almost paid off. They've been quite fantastic in the field today. Wide delivery there from Witeto. But it seems like she's bowling bombs. Botswana are not really sure how to handle her slow, loopy spinners.
And the best way to do so is to get off strike, a single taken there. But I'm always intrigued by these field settings. Yesterday we saw Nigeria have a fly slip almost in the gap between the keeper and the wide slip. And here are Kenya, who seems to have done their homework and have almost a fiver there for Sarah Videto. But tell me, from ball one, we could see Kenya have a short cover. Does that mean that they probably were always aiming to bowl full and in the channel round off?
Yeah, it probably does indicate that tactic that they were trying to get the batters to drive off the front foot. Another full delivery from Witeto there. Botswana sneaking a single to long on. Yeah, I think that was the idea, to bowl full on the outside the off stump. Another miserly over again from Witeto. Botswana 36 for 5 in 11 overs. Off-spinner Queen Tor Abels coming in for her final over of the game. She's bowled 3 overs for 13 runs, 1 maiden. Been unlucky not to get a wicket. But Sudarshan, she actually reminds me of a certain West Indian off-spinner, Stephanie Taylor. She bowls very similar trajectory, not as quick, but she seems to have that same quick action, gets the ball through nicely. What are your thoughts?
Not really surprised. She has mentioned Stephanie Taylor as her favorite cricketer, but that that run up seems to be a bit shorter than Stephanie's, but the effectiveness seems to be up there with the best, not just Stephanie, but anybody else. And as we speak, there's another wicket that falls, the 6th Botswanian wicket, and it's Jacqueline Khang who has been stumped by Sharon Juma of Queen Tor Abel. The 6th wicket falls, 36 for 6. Botswana just slide further. The Kenyans are dancing on the field, and why won't they? They have Botswana on the mat, 36 for 6. That's just what they would have liked after winning the toss and choosing to bowl. And Botswana, Botsogo Mpedi walks in next for them in the first game, but 36 for 6. Life's not too different from the 29 all out yet.
Not quite, but they have shown improvement. The top order, I thought, batted a lot better today than they did yesterday against Rwanda. There is improvement, but then a lot more. I think Botswana need to find a way right now to bat through the 20 overs. Maybe push that score to around 60, 65 at least. And they're relying now on their bowlers to get them there. But as Ian Bishop once famously said, it's always the bowlers. So hopefully these two are able to put together a good partnership here.
There's another loopy balls. We've seen a lot of these, haven't we? These tossed up balls, fearless tossed up, if I may add. And yet there's very little a batter can do there. Queen Torable, 3.3 overs, 1 maiden, 14 for 1.
You've mentioned the lack of pace.
Isn't it?
Yeah, not much turn it seems like, but I don't think they're imparting too many revs on the ball. Doesn't look like that, it seems. But there is a real lack of pace, and I think these spinners have been allowed to bowl because of the lack of power from the batters. They're not coming down the track, and even if they are, there's not much power in their strokes. So I think that's allowed the spinners to kind of cause some confusion there in the middle. Can they sneak a single? Yes, they do. Botsogo Mpedi is quick enough to get to the striker's end. She manages to get a run. 12 overs now, and Botswana are 38 for 6. Can they get to that 60-65 mark? Wicket number 5 there for Sarah Witeto. She's on a roll here, clearly vying for that Players Pot Player of the Match award. She goes through the defenses, or the slog from Amantle Mogetle to bring up. She clatters into off stumps the ball. A very, very floppy delivery. And the stumps are disturbed. Sarah Witeto gets 5 for 6 now in just 2.1 overs. So that's 13 deliveries for 5 wickets, and she's conceded only 6 runs. Remember that first over was a triple wicket maiden, and she's just added to that tally. And as we can see, Kenya dancing, celebrating. Botswana, a lot of trouble at 38 for 6, just 12.1 overs. Struggling to bat out these 20 overs here.
It's the first 5-wicket haul of this season's Kwibuka T20 Tournament. Sarah Witeto has her name right up there. And you mentioned Players Pot Player of the Tournament. I'm sure those who have her in her team would be jumping with joy like the Kenyans are. You can download the app from the link in the description. 38 for 7. Tebego Motlabaput walks in. The ball was slow, the shot was slower, but she manages to get it over the bowler faster for a single to get going. 39 for 7 now. Kosovo Imperi will take strike against Sara Witeto, who's on a roll. 7 runs given, 5 wickets taken. She's into her third. Trouble does not seem to end for Botswana.
Well, Kenya haven't let them off the hook from the after that run out of the first ball. Well, it wasn't a delivery, but the first ball of the game. They haven't let Botswana get away here. And you can see that lack of power again in that cover drive. It's not getting past short cover. Kenya have been very, very sharp in the field, but Botswana lack some power here. The lower order not quite able to find any runs. Boundary is a far cry, but any runs.
It's a boundary. What a way to jinx it. What a way to jinx Sara Witeto. Ananya has done it. It was a short one and it's pulled away nicely through backward square leg for a boundary. Anything to say there?
Well, Botswana Impedi is my favorite Botswana player, so I'm happy she's got a boundary there.
43 for 7 after 13. There's one more over left for Sara Witeto, but Queen Torable is done, which means there's going to be a change of bowling from this end. Let's talk a bit more about Queen Torable. She's bowled 4 overs all right, but she's constantly been in that short covered position. How courageous you have to be to stand there?
Well, I think as Sara Waitaka, the left-arm spinner, comes into the attack, I think standing in short covers it's more exciting than it is scary. I think, especially in a situation where you know the batter too much power, where they probably can't break your fingers. Yeah. I think, well, like I said, power is a big thing. If you're probably standing at short covers to a Shafali Verma, you're definitely going to be quaking in your boots. But right now, I don't think she has too much to worry about. She's shown fantastic reflexes.
What's happened there? They tried to sneak in a single and then there was an overthrow. But then they again tried to sneak another and there is a run out in the form of, who is it? Motlabaput walking back. But trouble, 43 for 8. The run out was the last thing that you need. You don't anyways need a run out. You don't need any wicket, but a run out is something they could have avoided. And seems as if 44 for 8 as, or it's not a run out probably. He had made it in 44 for 7. I beg your pardon.
Lots of confusion out there, just like there is here in the con box. But now Botswana didn't lose their 8th wicket. There was just an appeal for a run out. Lots of confusion between the batters. But Waitaka nicely settling into a spell. Another very loopy spinner. No pace for the batters. Just putting it there on a length. And she's getting through her overs very, very quickly here, Sara Waitaka, sorry. Beg your pardon. A good stop there mid-wicket. Kenya have been very, very sharp in the field, not giving Botswana any room to take any singles, no boundaries. They've been very, very good. 14 overs, Botswana are 45 for 7.
Final over for Sara Veteto, with figures of 11 for 5 in her 3 overs, including a maiden. These are the best figures for Kenya in T20Is. Oh, well fielded. Once again, hit sharply to short cover. Is it the lack of pace or her lines that have been troubling Botswana? Another well tossed up ball. Really going through her overs quickly, giving nothing away there. 46 for 7 are Botswana. Well tossed up. Is it gone? Oh, it has gone down, it seems. Hands on head means just one thing, a chance gone a begging. And it was a 6th wicket for Sara Veteto for taking. An opportunity grasped. And on the last ball, Motlabafu defends it towards shot. That's the end of Sara Veteto for this game. 4 overs, 1 maiden, 12 runs, 5 wickets. Could have been a 6, but the could haves and should have don't have space. Sara Veteto must be at the forefront in the player spot, player of the match contender. Ananya, आपने खेला क्या and did you have her in your team?
If you want an honest answer, I'll say no, I did not have her in my team, but after this, I'm definitely going to make sure that she's in my players' spot team throughout the tournament. She's shown that she is a wicket taker. She's broken the back of this Botswana innings, so anyone, make sure that you include her in your player spot team.
It's tossed up well above the eye line, and yet all the batter could do is get a top edge to short cover. In fact, this time it was a cover fielder. And another wicket fall. What is that? "52 for 7 is the score, or make that 52 for 8 as Mpedi walks back. It's an interesting angle that Edith Waithaka has been bowling from. Left arm round across, something that very few players do. Sophie Eccleston, if I'm not wrong, does that. And such players, I think, have to have a good equation with the umpire, who often does not like anybody coming from the blocking the vision. "52 for 8, and Tuelo Shadrack walks in at number 10. Another tossed up down the leg side that flicked away nicely. We get one. Do they come back for two? No, they don't. Just a single. 53 for 8. How important is the equation with the umpire when you want to bowl across the angle? Melvin Idambo with the ball now. She's on debut. Starts off with the dot ball.
Interesting position from the keeper there. She looks like a keeper standing a couple of steps back, it seems. Why do you think that is?
Well, for starters, I'm not sure if she's aware that she's bowling spin, because her credentials say she's a seamer. So that could be one of the thoughts. We could see her take her helmet off and stand a couple of positions back. This probably might be a case of Idambo trying to just bowl quick off spinners, something that we've seen happen a lot in men's cricket when the wicketkeeper stands a couple of steps behind. The first runs of her bowling here. A single, 54 for 8. Short, and that's wide, and that signaled wide. She almost got a wicket of the third ball, didn't she? Seemed as if she had trapped her LBW. The umpire had nothing of it.
She gets through the over unscathed. Oh, there is another delivery. Gets through the over unscathed. Yeah, dot ball defended to cover. Good start there by Melvin Idambo.
Talk about batting and bowling performances, getting points for players on the Players Spot app, something you can download from the link in the description. But should Quintor Abel get extra points for standing in short covers?
Full toss there from Edith Waitaka. Single to mid-wicket. Well, should she get more points? I would definitely say so, as someone who played in most teams as a fielder. I think fielders should get more fantasy points, but unfortunately the rules don't allow them to. Maybe Player Spot can change that.
Let's make it easy for them. What could be the points system for them? Should 5 points for a dive? Of course, catches can give you 10 or 20. But should there be points for dives and half stops as well?
Definitely, any run saved should be a point gained.
Botswana, once again, their batting not really living up to expectations. What could be the talk in the dressing room? Because very less turnaround time. We played the day game yesterday, the day game today. And 29 allowed to come to close to 60 is one improvement. But what could be the talk going around in the Botswana camp?
Well, I think they'll need to be a little more proactive when they come out to bat. They did show that today. Another single to mid-wicket, deep mid-wicket, another well-played single. I think they need to be more proactive when they're coming out to bat. We saw Florence Samanika and Laura Mofokedi. I'll get back to that in the next over. 18 overs, 58 for 8, 2 overs to go. Botswana need to play them out. Okay. Wrapped on the pad, another LBW shout for Melvin Idambo. She looks close to getting her first wicket. But coming back to your question, I think Botswana have to find a way to regroup. Their coach, Innocent Modambo, is that a wicket? That is in Idambo's maiden wicket, it seems. LBW. She's had 3 shouts before this, and finally, third time lucky, the umpire agreed. A full straight delivery. Wrapped on the pad, the batter, and she's finally given out Botswana 58 for 9 and 18.2 overs.
.58 for 9. O'Neill Kisemang walks in. And it's a maiden wicket for Melvin Idambo, who threatened to get one in the last over as well. A couple of LBW appeals turned down, but the umpire finally agrees to one. 58 for 9. It's been almost played on loop, isn't it? You bowl outside off, the batter goes for a drive, misses, and you bowl in line of the stump. You try to hoik and miss. Another run through that short third man cordon. That gets Kitsemang going.
Well, third time, going back to your question, I think the senior players do need to stand up. Innocent Chando, their coach, ahead of the tournament, had said that he expects the likes of Florence Samanyika, Shamila Muso, Laura Mofakedi, all to stand up and score runs at the top of the. We saw glimpses from Samanika and Mofakedi. They showed ability at the top, but I think they need to extend that a little more, be a little more proactive against the pacers. They seem to be creased a little bit. They moved their feet a lot better today, but there is plenty more that they can do. I think the game time, just there in the middle, they will learn a lot, and hopefully they continue to show that improvement through the tournament. "19 overs, Botswana 59 for 9. Final over of the innings to be bowled Edith Waithaka.
The intent to not lose wicket was there at the beginning, but the intent to score runs was missing, wasn't it? And you talk about the intent, you generally don't specify which one we talk about, but the runs seem to be the currency in which T20I operates in. That was something that seemed to be missing in the Botswana batting attack.
Yes, it definitely was, and I think if you look at the approach now as well, it looks like these two just want to see the over through to last the entire 20 overs. And when I've spoken to a lot of coaches who've worked with associate teams, to steal a run here, no run there. But coaches who've worked with associate teams have made it very clear that, batting is a skill that takes a lot of time. As bowlers, you can practice alone. You just need, a little bit of space to practice your skill. Boundary there. Botswana have finally found the boundary of the bowling Waithaka. A nice slog through mid-wicket, an old-fashioned slog. Well, that's what the bowlers do very well. Score moves along past 60. Some positive intent there. But yeah, with the bat, you obviously need a lot more people. You need a lot more equipment. There are so many variables that are not always available to these players. So it's a skill that takes a lot more time to develop, and that's why you see your teams generally are stronger in the field and with the ball than they are with the bat. And that will, I think they'll continue to improve the more time they're able to put into the game. At the moment, they're not able to train professionals, and so expecting them to play with the intent of, well, I guess expecting them to be able to execute certain skills in every game they play is probably a little harsh. So you need to cut these teams some slack. They do show improvement. There is plenty of skill. As Botswana, as they continue to show these final two batters, Onile Kitsamang showing some positive intent, looking to score runs. But it will come with time. I think we've seen drastic improvements from the first game to now with Botswana. So hopefully by the time the Africa qualifiers come around, they're a well-oiled team.
Another couple of runs taken there. Quick, good running between the wickets as well. The intent that we saw miss at the start seems to be right in place in these last two batters. At 66 for 9. In fact, make that 68 for 9 at the end of 20 overs. That was the last ball. A big positive that Botswana would be talking about is that they are not dismissed. It's 68 for 9. Yes, the runs are not plenty, but probably something that they can work with, given that 29 all out yesterday. But it's game 3 of the Kwibuka T20 Tournament. Botswana taking on Kenya. Kenya won the toss, opted to bowl, and have restricted Botswana to 68 for 9, thanks to a wonderful 5-wicket haul from Sarah Wateto. Tell us more about that spell, Ananya. What part of the spell did you enjoy? Was it the setting up or the flight, or was it the lines and lengths that Sarah bowled?
I think it was a combination of the flight, the lines. She wasn't, like we saw, she wasn't afraid to toss the ball up, but she was bowling very straight lines when she did it. She didn't rely too much on the fielders or the keeper. It was you miss, I hit kind of bowling, and I think that's usually what's going to get you wickets in T20 cricket when the batters are looking for runs. If they miss it, you know that you're going to get That's what really impressed me. It was the lines, it was the control with that flight. I mean, with that kind of pace in that flight, it's easy to bowl a lot of full tosses. We did see her bowl a couple, but she landed most of her deliveries. So I think that's what really, really impressed me.
Just 5 wickets for 12 runs, the best for Kenya in T20Is. And talking about Botswana's batting, two batters got into double figures. Florence Samanika looked good at the start, 18, but with 31 balls she faced. And Botsogo Mpedi playing a 13-run knock of just 12 balls towards the end. The intent we talked about was missing at the start, but the end batters quite tried to make up for it. And Botswana finished with 68 for 9. 69 to win for Kenya. We'll be back with the chase in about a while time. Don't go anywhere.
Over the last week or so, there's been plenty of drama surrounding women's cricket in India. So much so that it's somewhat overshadowed all the good that's coming out of it. I'm talking about India's tour of England that's beginning on June 16th, the squad for which was announced recently, a 21 member contingent
that will head off to England to play a test match, 3 ODIs, and 3 T20s. The series itself feels like it's going to be a story of comebacks. Test cricket, the non-Ashes kind, returns after 7 years. India tour England for a bilateral series after 7 years. And there are also several players in the Indian contingent who are making comebacks of their own. And speaking of comebacks, today on Beyond the Boundary, we're going to talk about someone who knows a thing or two about making comebacks of her own. India Seema Shikha Pandey, or if I should call her India all-rounder Shikha Pandey. Welcome to the show, Shikha. We're thrilled to have you.
Thanks a lot. Thank you for having me, and you can call me bowling all-rounder. I'll be happy with that.
Okay, so bowling all-rounder Shikha Pandey. I'm going to start with a slightly uncomfortable question, address the elephant in the room, just so that we can get it out of the way. There's been plenty happening in the women's game recently, and I know you're not keen on talking about it, but I want to ask you, as someone who's so well informed, as someone who's so aware of what's going on and who's always reading everything, how do you keep your nose out of all this and keep your focus on the game?
I don't know. I mean, I've had a 7-year-long international career, and by now I know when I need to keep myself off social media and when I can log in again and, read about things. So yes, whenever I think I shouldn't be on social media, I just take time off and put these virtual blinkers on, because probably that has helped me focus better on my game. So yes, I mean that's how I do it. I still like reading about what's going on around and what's happening in women's sport and women's cricket, because I like to be informed, like you said. But then I know there's a when to kind of get off social media.
Okay, so the past year or year and a half has been quite difficult for everyone battling the pandemic. I mean, there's been so much loss of life, there's so much panic, the stresses that come with lockdown, with caring for loved ones, but I mean, so much grief. Has all this given you, I suppose, a new perspective on life or how you see the game itself?
Yes, firstly, I would like to, use your platform to say a big thank you to all the healthcare workers and essential service providers. I mean, we don't realize, but they have had really tough. They have had it really tough for the past 1.5 years, and I mean, huge respect and gratitude to them. It is because of them, like people like you and me can sit here and talk about cricket. So a lot of lives have been lost. So just that, I request everyone who's listening to this, please wear a mask, follow all the safety protocols, and do everything that you can. Get yourself vaccinated and do everything that you can to help these guys, help us stay safe. And please keep your loved ones near and safe, and keep in touch with all of them. The last 1.5 years has actually taught me to respect life more. I wouldn't say my perspective towards life has changed, but just that I am so thankful for the life that I have, and I consider myself to be really privileged, because there are so many out there who are finding it difficult even to find one day's meat. So really privileged, but then I really understand how privileged I am and how thankful I am for the life that I have. And the very fact that I'm able to do something that I love is a huge plus for me.
So let's get down now to the cricket itself. And this is going to be your third trip to England, the second in which you're going to play a test match. How excited are you, one, to be returning to international cricket, I suppose, and two, to actually don the whites again?
I'm really excited. I mean, I'll be playing again in an international series representing India after about 18 months or so, 15 months or so. So always take huge pride in the fact that I am representing India. So really excited, firstly, to be playing any format. But then again, I'm very blessed that we're starting off with a test match. And as a kid growing up, it has been my favorite format, and consider it to be the purest form of the game. So very excited to be donning the whites again, and getting down to playing 4 days of test match cricket.
Awesome. So I'm not sure, whether this has crossed your mind, but in 2014, when you got called up to the squad, you went in as a last-minute replacement. So, that was a comeback of sorts. And this time again, it is somewhat of a comeback. So, does it feel to you like the stars are aligning in terms of making a big impact in the test match?
I mean, if the stars are aligning, it's for the good, and probably we are going to win the test match, is what I would want to think. Yes, not many people realize the last time I played a test match in 2014, I actually went in as a replacement, and to be able to start in the playing 11 and contribute a little in the win was amazing. To be out there on the 4th day, to be batting alongside Matalidi was an opportunity that I got, and I think I was very fortunate. So yes, really excited, and would do everything I can to contribute to the team's win in the test match and the series that follows.
So on a more serious note, how did you take the news that that you were left out of the South Africa series, and how did that impact you mentally?
I don't know. I mean, to be very honest, if I was not disappointed and sad, then I would be making some other decisions. I have realized that hard work never goes to waste. So just put your head down and work hard. And off late, I've started thinking more about controllables, things that I can control. I can control how much I practice. I can control how I practice, and all of that. So just concentrate more on the controllables, and if my process is right, the results will follow. So just not think too much about what's not in my hands, and just go out there and play cricket, irrespective of whether I'm playing domestic cricket or international cricket. That's something that I'm going to be following always.
So speaking of domestic cricket, do you feel, or in hindsight, do you think that being left out of that South Africa series, did you put a little too much pressure on yourself going into that domestic season, or did you try too hard to prove a point, you think?
Once I got back from Dubai, I actually had started training intensely for any series that would follow. So I would say I was physically feeling really right, and I've always believed when I get back and play alongside my state-mates, I enjoy the game so much more. And this was a perfect opportunity to just get back, not think too much about the results, just enjoy every day, every game that we play. And I've made some really great memories this time over playing domestic cricket. And I also enjoy watching new people on the circuit. So this time over, I had I played alongside some really good players and against some great cricketers as well. So I would say
Welcome back to the day 2 of the Kwibuka T20 Tournament. Kenya chasing Botswana 69. They need 69 to beat Botswana in their opening game of the tournament. And Queen Tor Abel and Veronica Abuga have come out to bat for Kenya. Botsogo Mpedi with the new ball for Botswana. She is their highest wicket taker. She is the only bowler from She's the
I can't hear you. Botsogo Mpedi takes the new ball for Botswana. Kenya are off the mark, 1 for no loss. Queen Torable has got going. We talk about intentions. It seemed to be pretty clear there as Abel tried to go big, gets an inside edge towards fine legs. 3 runs already on the board. But given that there's 69 runs or 68 runs that Botswana have in the bank, I think we could see a bit more of Botswana's bowling and bowling tactics.
another wild
Another one
swing
of those.
from the Kenya openers. And an inside edge and a single there. Speaking of Botswana's tactics, hopefully we are able to see more of their bowlers. I'm actually very excited to see what Botsogo Mpedi brings to the table. She is their highest wicket taker. She's the only Botswana bowler to have taken a hat trick for them. So that's played up in the air, an attacking stroke, and it seems like it will yield a couple of runs for Kenya. Intentions made very, very clear. It looks like they want to get this chase underway quickly, make full use of the power play. They've gotten 6 runs off that first over from Mpedi. Kenya 6 for no loss in the first over.
Queen Torable just trying to drive the early advantage home, making full use of the field restrictions. As Shamila Moswo comes into the attack from the other end, the off spinner. She got run out of the very first ball of the game, trying to steal a bye. First innings saw Botswana being restricted to 68 for 9, 5 wickets for Sarah Witeto, one of the early contenders for the spot player of the match. Slow loopy, not given a wide. So she starts all right.
Shamila Mosou is one of Botswana's most experienced players. She has been around since early 2010s. She is one of the only Botswana batters to have scored 100 for them, of course not in an international game, but she has a century to her name against Swaziland. That was back in 2012. So she's got a lot of experience under her belt, and she'll need to pull off something special if Botswana are to challenge Kenya.
Lovely shot, lovely shot. Showing all her skills against the spinner, does Veronica Abuga. Tossed up ball. We saw plenty of those in the first innings as well, but not capitalized. And here's the good start for them.
And you can see straight away the difference in approaches between the teams. Botswana were looking to survive the power play, and Kenya have come out all guns blazing. Once again, beaten outside off stump. Masou trying to maintain that outside off stump line.
Beautifully played. Beautiful use of the field. Yeah. Wonderful use of the field there. Dancing down the wicket. Veronica Abuga, and hitting it straight over the bat bowler's head. One of the safest spots on the field.
That
Another aggressive shot from Veronica Abuga. Steps out down the track and smashes full delivery between cover and mid-off. Lovely step-out cover drive from the opening batter. And Botswana's experiment with the spinner has not worked. Kenya have raced out of the blocks, 18 for no loss in 2 overs. And Petty continues with the
during the
ball.
build-up to the domestic
And another
season.
aggressive stroke from Queen Torable. She's the attack to the bowlers now. Runs to the Kenya opener. Plenty of positive intent from these 2 batters. They look like they want to get it over with quickly.
Another boundary there. Queen Torable was from ball number 1. She's shown her intentions, but only managed to get edges. But this time she's got a boundary over mid-wicket for a 4. And Bosogo Mpedi now bearing the brunt of Abel's attack.
And another powerful shot from Queen Torable. She is not letting Botsogo Mpedi get into any sort of a rhythm. Lovely stroke down the ground. Very, very, very on this batter. She is known for her big hitting. She's hit 2 sixes through her career so far, 8 boundaries as well. I'm sure she's keen to add to that. She told us that one of her favorite things to do is smash the ball. So she's clearly showing that right now.
We saw Namibia begin with a flurry of boundaries yesterday, and Kenya have done just that. They're 69. They're off to a flying start. 28 lost inside 3 overs.
That's 3 overs done for Botswana, and are 28 with no loss in 3 overs. Florence Samanyika into the attack for Botswana. Kenya have raced out of the blocks here. They're not hanging about, want to get this over with as quickly as possible. Do you think net run rate is on their mind, Sudarshan?
Must be. And I also feel that Kenya, having come off a 4-1 win against Botswana, know how their bowlers bowl, know what their batters do. And that has really reflected in whatever we've seen so far, their bowling lines, their length, their strategies as well. They kept spin on from one end. At one point had spin going on from both the ends. And this onslaught at the start has meant that Botswana had to have change in the attack very early, because they would have liked to have a pacer and a spinner going on from one end each.
Another strong down the ground, this time by Veronica Abuga. Some excellent batting, these two. They're not letting anything go, anything full pitched up is going down the ground, going the distance. And we've seen that Botswana have changed their field. They have a long on, it seems. So on the back foot straight away.
She took a long time to set her field. Nothing worked on the first ball.
This time a miscued pull straight over the bowler. They managed to sneak a single with the straight fielder's back. Let's see what Kwibuka is able to produce against Samanyika. She's watched Veronica Abuga take the first couple. She's played a couple of expansive shots. Can she better that?
Just timing on that option from backward square leg for a couple. But one thing's clear, that both these batters are not looking for the elegant drives or the shot through the offside, some of which are more pleasing to the eye. All they are bothered about is runs and quick runs, and that is seen from the slogs, and most of these boundaries have come through the onside, clearing the infield. But on the first ball, it was all about power, wasn't it? There was a long on, there was a long off in place as well, beating both comfortably.
Yes, and there we see that power again, unable to get it through the infield, but another powerful stroke from Veronica Abuga. Yes, Kenya have come out, they've made their intentions very, very clear. They will go for this total, make sure they get it as soon as possible. And again, another very, very powerful stroke down the ground. They're only going to get a single. But what they've made clear is that they're not worried about elegance. They're trying to be effective. They're trying to collect as many runs as fast as they can. And that's what T20 cricket is all about. It's about the power, necessarily about the finesse. And these two batters have started brilliantly. 4 overs gone. Kenya 38 for no loss.
O'Neill Kitsamang into the attack now. And it's the same treatment. This day, you bowl whatever, you bowl wherever. The result or the shot execution is going to be the same, though the results may be different.
I think Botswana will have to change the length they're bowling. They're far too full to these batters who are camping on the front foot, looking to smash them down the ground. They will need to change their plans a little bit.
Look at Veronica Abuga charging to a pacer. That's quite unusual. She's on 22 of 13 and her T20 best score is 27. So do you see her being her best?
I'm not going to jinx her, so I'm not going to answer that question.
Knocked her over. You said you won't jinx her, but probably you had an answer in your mind, which was probably yes. And Veronica Abuga has to walk back as O'Neill Ketsemang gets the breakthrough. Third ball, 3 balls is what it took her first wicket. Kenya, a 39 for 1. Some respite for Botswana there.
Yes, finally. I mean, they've broken that partnership. It was looking like a dangerous partnership, going at close to 9 runs per over were Kenya. And now Onele Ketsamang gets a wicket in her very first over, something that Botswana they need to find a way to slow the scoring. And wickets is the best way to do that. Looks like the skipper, Margaret Ngoche, has come to bat. And she starts with a crashing cover drive. Excellent way to beautiful shot. I remember she called Laura Mufaketi's shot this morning the shot of the day, but I just trumps that. This was a spectacular way off the mark from the skipper.
We just discussed about the boundaries being hikes and heaves and being to the onside, but here's Margaret who's walked in The very first ball, an elegant stroke through covers. That's a beautifully played shot. 43 for 1 in 4.4.
And now she goes through the leg, a full toss on the pads, brilliantly glanced to the in-leg boundary. The skipper's not wasting any time here. She wants to chase this down quickly. She's taken up after Abuga, and she's going to go after these bowlers. 47 now, Kenya. Going at close to 10 runs and over. They're going to chase this down really quickly. I remember yesterday we spoke about Namibia and their approach. They are the 23rd ranked team in the ICC rankings. Kenya are 20, showing us exactly why they're above Namibia.
It's almost as if the Kenyan battles have decided that they are going to contribute massively to the players' spot, player of the tournament contenders, the players' spot, the fantasy games as well. Because the more you score, the quicker you score, the more points you'll give the players. Have you made your team on players' spot? Remember, there's another match coming off at 1:50 p.m. local time. So head on to that player spot app. The link is in the description and make your team, because these players are almost hell-bent on giving us points.
And speaking of player spot, I think Queen Torable would be a very, very good addition to the team. She contributes with the bat, contributes with the ball. Definitely someone you should pick in your player spot team.
And we have also sent a petition to have points for fielding to player spot, and she's sure to give us points there as well. But here is Queen Torable, who's continuing to impress. Fielding points nonetheless, that probably won't materialize, but she's going to give you points for batting, and this is a beautiful shot over extra cover for a boundary.
These Kenya batters seem to want to one up each other. We called Margaret Ngoche's cover drive the shot of the day. I'm going to say that this was the shot of the day. Over extra cover, any batter who can do that is high quality.
That's driven past where mid-off would have been. They come back for 2. No, they don't. But here's another point. Queen Torable is on 22 of 14. The T20 at best is 23. Let me put it out there. There is Margaret Ngoche on strike. 2 boundaries, 8 runs of 3 balls. Everybody, I think, is in the Kenya batting lineup is fighting for the player of the match points. A couple more to the tally. Margaret on 10 of 4. Queen Tor maybe on 22, but Margaret has a higher strike rate. That's one of those rare dots that we see. Straight to short cover. She's striking at over 200, while Queen Torable is on 157. Check out the Player Spot app for the point system. Slight misfield there, and that really ends the power play. The power play is done and dusted. 55 for 1, Botswana. Bigger pardon, Kenya and Botswana. They just need 13 more to win.
Onele Ketsamang to continue, and her first 2 balls have conceded 2 runs. Rather uneventful considering the way this innings has gone, but 2 runs off the target nonetheless. Kenya now need 11 to win. 13 to win, sorry.
I'm guessing that there must be a nice menu in the lunch there for players, because of which Kenya want to get done with this match and enjoy the lunch. Because remember, there's another gap in the afternoon where Rwanda will take on Namibia. Both the teams won their opening games yesterday. So should be an interesting contest as well. But head over to the Player Spot app, make your team, and you could win. You could stand a chance to win big.
Wide down the leg side. This was helped on its way past fine leg, the vacant fine leg area. Queen Torable adding to her boundary tally, getting past that. A question I refrained from answering, just putting it out there. And Kenya continue towards this target. Botswana looking like they have absolutely no answers. They changed their lengths in the previous over, bowled slightly shorter. Margaret Ngoche jumped on that. And now they continue to bowl full, another full toss, smashed to the extra cover boundary. Looks like they want to get it done and dusted in this over.
Kitsemang might have been high on confidence after that wicket of Abuga, but it was all quelled by those 2 boundaries by Margaret Ngoche, and that's something that Queen Tor able utilizing on in this over. In her 1.5 overs has already gone for 21, even though she's picked up a wicket. She needed for Kenya to win their opening clash in the Kwibuka T20 Tournament that's being played at the Gahanga International Cricket Stadium in Kigali. 3 more to get.
Three to win, and they pull out a defensive shot. A rare dot ball. Another powerful shot down the ground by the captain, taking the total to 67 now. Just 2 runs required for Kenya. Can Queen Torable finish this in style? And that's a wild swing. Wow, she's hit that quite brilliantly over the boundary. Umpire signals 4. That's a boundary for Kenya to end it. She certainly does end it in style. An emphatic victory for the 2-time champions, 3-time champions, I think. Kenya thrashed Botswana, their second defeat in this tournament, by 9 wickets. They've chased down the target of 69 in just 7.3 overs. Queen Torable finishing on 35 of just 19 deliveries, and skipper Margaret Ngoche 14 of 11. The lone wicket going to Onele Kitsam of Botswana, the seam bowler. An easy victory in the end. Kenya were clinical with the ball. Sarah Watete, her maiden fifer, best figures for Kenya. And then the batters came, chased it down with utmost ease. Just 7.3 overs, 71 for 1. Botswana pick up their first points in this tournament and hurtle to the top of the points table.
So some knock by Queen Torable, 35 not out of just 19 balls. The strike rate of 184.21 is sure to have given more points on the player's spot app. Head over, quickly rush over to check the point system, but let's have a look at the batting card. 35 of 19 for Queen Torable. Veronica Apuga started well alongside her, 22 of just 15 before Margaret Ngoche, the captain, coming and hitting a couple of boundaries, 14 from 11 for her. Nothing much to about for as far as their bowling is concerned. To successive games, they've had very little to do with the ball on the field because of the lack of runs. Is that something that would kind of haunt her as the tournament progresses, Ananya? Because it's very important for the bowlers to have some rhythm, and they've had little time on the field.
Yes, well, the batters definitely do need to step up for Botswana. They have a lot of experience in that lineup. And it's just about, I suppose, getting more game time under their belt, batting a little longer. We saw glimpses of that potential when Florence Samanyika, even Laura Mofakedi, and lower down the order, Botsogo and Peri showed some really positive intent, looking to score runs. There's a lot they can work on, but I think if they continue to show the improvement that we saw today, we will see the best of Botswana, hopefully, towards the middle and end of the tournament. There isn't much time. The turnover time is very, very less, but I think these players will learn a lot from these losses.
For starters, Botswana would Mofakedi's luck to change with the toss because they've lost both their tosses. The opposition invited them to bat first, and they couldn't really set a target. That is one of the things that they would really love to change. But 2 matches, 2 losses for Botswana, while Kenya have managed to begin their Kwibuka T20 journey with a win. Here are the fixtures. The Namibia-Rwanda match is coming up next in a while. It's at 1:50 local time. It is about 2 hours from where we are right now. But don't go anywhere. The presentations are coming. Who will be the player of the match? There is Sarah Wetoto with the fifer that she picked. There's also Queen Torable, who was economical with the ball, played a beautiful knock with the bat, 6 4s. Ananya, if you were to be choosing the player of the match, who would it go to?
I think you would probably have to give it to Sarah Wetoto, who set up the win for Kenya. She was excellent with the ball, picked up career best figures. So I think she'd probably get it ahead of Queen Torable, but Queen Torable was very, very good with the ball. I think she complemented Wetoto very, very well. Bowled a lot of dot balls, allowing her then to pick up wickets. So it was very good partnership bowling. And again, Abel was excellent with the bat. Came out, absolutely smashed the Botswana bowlers, didn't allow them to settle into the rhythm, and really headline that Kenya win. So I guess Wetoto would Queen Torable. If I were handing out the match award, I'd probably give it to Abel because she was excellent in the field as well.
Sarah Wetoto picking up 5 for 12. She idolizes former Kenya men's ODI captain Steve Chikolo, who was an off-spinner as well. Handy off-spinner, if I may add. So she's done justice. Don't go anywhere. The presentations are lined up next. And also, don't forget to join us for the second match that is there to be played in a while.
off spinner
Yeah, it's the William to the last, bro. Everything happening, done pray for. I will take it to the top like a top dog. Then I beat my chest like King Kong. People say my face got a built tongue. Everybody saying that lady don't go up. How the hell you talk crap about me, Brooke? Please, next thing when you see me, coop a fall.